Welcome to today's Explainer. We are jumping right into a pretty sobering reality today, an event that really forces us to pause and reflect on the very real physical risks tied to information and communication. Specifically, we're diving into a violent incident in Silchar, which was a direct, targeted attack on the press.
Journalist assaulted, media office vandalized in Assam's Silchar. Just let that sink in for a second. We aren't talking about a heated dispute over opinions here or some online argument. We are talking about actual hostile actions. This single, unvarnished sentence carries an immense amount of weight. And our goal today is to unpack exactly what it means for the people involved and honestly for communication at large.
Section 1. The Incident in Silchar, a stark report from ASSAM.
So let's talk about the where first. Silchar, Assam. When we talk about press violence, it is incredibly easy to treat it as this broad, abstract concept, right? But these hostile actions happen in real communities. They affect real people. Silchar is the focal point where the abstract idea of press danger became a tangible, physical reality. What we're looking at here is a very calculated, two-pronged attack. First off, we have actual physical violence directed against a media professional. And second, the deliberate destruction of workspace property. So this wasn't just a random scuffle. It was a targeted incident that impacted both the human being doing the reporting and the professional environment they completely rely on to do their job. Section 2. Assault and vandalism, the dual nature of the attack. This incident really reveals a dual threat. On side A, you've got the physical attack, literally assaulting a journalist. That is the immediate, visceral harm. But then on side B, alongside it, you have an institutional attack, vandalizing the media office itself. This isn't just about sweeping up broken glass. It's a direct attack on the institution of journalism, sending a crystal clear message that the very infrastructure of reporting is vulnerable. And you know what it all boils down to? Danger, pure and simple. Looking at what went down in Silchar, we absolutely have to underscore the immediate physical peril that communication professionals are facing. Simply gathering facts and reporting the news suddenly puts them in a zone of active, unpredictable danger. Section 3. A breach of safety, the chilling effect on local news. So, what exactly is a breach of safety in this context? Well, it happens when a workspace for communication professionals is violently transformed into a zone of danger and intimidation. Vandalizing a media office doesn't just, halt operations for an afternoon. It completely destroys their baseline safety. I mean, how can a journalist confidently pursue a story if their professional safe haven has just been violently breached? Which naturally brings us to the psychological aftermath here, intimidation. The deliberate destruction of an office that serves as a massive, powerful warning to all local news organizations. It's a tactic designed to create fear, whispering to the entire community, hey, if you report on things we don't like, this could happen to you. And that kind of intimidation often lingers way, way after the physical damage is repaired. The report coming out of Silchar really highlights these hostile actions targeting reporters directly. It forces these professionals to continuously work in zones of intimidation, which exposes a severe lack of physical security out in the field. Think about it. When journalists have to constantly look over their shoulders, their ability to freely and accurately report the news is severely compromised. Section 4. Threat to media freedom, the broader implications. So what actually happens when the press is silenced? When you zoom out and shift your perspective from the immediate victims to society as a whole, you quickly realize that an attack on a local journalist is an attack on the public's right to know. It is basically a blunt force method of controlling the narrative by physically shutting down the people who report it. To break it down, the incident in Silchar squarely targets the physical safety of journalists. And through that sheer violence, it effectively intimidates local news organizations across the board. Collectively, this represents a severe, undeniable threat to media freedom. A single assault, literally one incident of vandalism, can completely undermine the integrity of the press in an entire region.
As we wrap up today's explainer, I want to leave you with this final critical thought. If local journalists cannot report without facing violence right in their own offices, if their fundamental baseline physical security is just stripped away, how can media freedom truly survive? A free press isn't just about lofty ideals, right? It relies entirely on the basic safety of the people holding the pens, the microphones, and the cameras. Thanks so much for joining me today.